So, very good afternoon to everyone. So, this is our first lecture of fluid mechanics and fluid machines. So, I welcome you all to the lecture of fluid mechanics and fluid machine. So, first of all, as I'm going to take this as my first lecture, so first of all, I will introduce myself. So, I am Mr. Sachin Kare. I have completed my BE Mechanical in the same institute, that is Ferris College of Engineering, Chandrapur, in the year 2012. After that, I have completed my PhD in heat power engineering from Pune University. I am having total teaching experience of 9 years. So, out of that 9 years, I am having 1 year experience at College of Engineering, Talegaon. After that, I switched to BSN College of Engineering, Waguli. There also, I did my job for 1 year, and since from last 7 years, I am along with this institute, that is Sweris College of Engineering, Chandrapur. So up till now, the subjects which I have taught, those are nothing but, first one is nothing but fluid mechanics. Then I have taught the fluid machinery and fluid power. Then I am also dealing with the refrigeration and air conditioning. IC engine, that is nothing but internal combustion engine, then heat and mass transfer. Then also I deal with applied mechanics and engineering graphics also. Uh, for contact details, so my mail ID is nothing but coe.ac.in and number 9960118580. So for this semester, for your class, I'm going to deal with subject called as a pure mechanics and pure machine. So both for theory as well as practical, I will be the subject teacher as well as practical teacher for your division. Along with that, I am also handling the responsibility of class coordinator of your division. That is nothing but take B division, or that is nothing but direct second year division. So as we haven't changed the divisions, so roll number of each and every student will be same as of your previous semester. So whatever roll number you were carrying in your first semester, same roll number will be there for your second semester also. So as for knowing that there will be total 5 to 6 subjects for this semester. Out of that, one of the subjects will be pure mechanics and pure machine. So as you all are diploma, as you all have completed your diploma, so in the second year of diploma, you might have come across the subject called as a pure mechanics. So little bit related to the pure mechanics, and one more part is added in this subject, that is nothing but pure machines. So that is related to the hydraulic machinery part. So before starting our subject, or before starting the syllabus or discussion of syllabus, let us know related to the subject, whatever basic words are there in the title of subject, that is nothing but pure mechanics and pure machine. So you might be knowing the meaning of fluid. Can anyone tell me what is the meaning of fluid?
A- Anything which flow is called as fluid.
The substance, or
Anything which flow,
okay, anything which can flow is called as a fluid. Okay, voice is not clear. Whether my voice is clear?
no, no, sir, not clear.
Okay, wait for wait for 1 minute. Hello. Whether now my voice is clear
Yes, yes, yes.
to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So whenever there will be the problem of
Yes,
files
sir.
or anything, you have to tell me, because once I have started my presentation, I'm unable to see what is going on, or whether you are able to see, or whether you are getting files or not. So whatever will be the problem, you have to communicate me instantly. Will it be okay? So so as I have given my introduction, so this is related to my introduction. So related to the subject, as subject name is nothing but fluid mechanics and fluid machine. So you are knowing the basic meaning of fluid. So one of our friend has told us that anything that can flow is called as a fluid. So uh, is it the correct definition for fluid? Anything that can flow called as a fluid. Is it the correct definition, or there is any correction in the same definition? So can anyone tell me what is in the fluid? Whatever in
Ability
your
to
mind.
flow.
Ability to flow is called as a fluid. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? Do it fast. Whatever in your mind, you have to tell me. Nothing is right or nothing is wrong. So don't hesitate that whether my statement will be correct or whether my statement will be wrong. So nobody is perfect in the world. So don't hesitate. So whatever is coming in your mind, you have to tell that. What is in the fluid? Only the substance or anything which can flow is called as a fluid, or any whatever the definition is there, that is partially correct definition. But who will tell the 100% correct definition related to the fluid? Okay, let it be definition. So can anyone tell me what are the examples of fluid? What are the examples of fluid?
Gas, liquid, blood,
Gas, liquid, blood. Okay, anything else?
water,
Water is coming under liquid.
air, sorry.
Air is coming under gas. So if you see all the gases as well as all the liquid, those are coming under the category called as a fluid. So apart from all the gases as well as apart from all the liquid, if you consider the example of mercury, so which is in liquid phase, that is also coming under the category of fluid. Then if you are going to consider the blood,
Petrol, diesel.
that is also coming under the category of fluid. Then apart from that, plasma is also considered as a fluid. But if you see all those example, then you will observe that those all those examples are not able to flow only. Apart from flowing, or apart from having the ability to flow, one more extra property is there, which all or each and every example or each and every fluid is possessing. That is nothing but deformation. So whenever you are going to act external forces on that fluid, so there will be the deformation in, or there will be the presence of deformation inside that fluid. So the exact definition of fluid is nothing but the substance. Fluid is nothing but the substance which can flow and deform continuously under the action of shear forces. So that will be the exact definition of fluid: substance which can flow and deform continuously under the action of shear forces. Then if you see the second word, what is the second word? Second word is nothing but the mechanics. So in your diploma tenure also, you have studied the complete subject called as the applied mechanics. So what is the meaning of mechanics? Can anyone tell me what is meant by mechanics? What is mean by mechanics? मेकॅनिक्स शिकलाय का तुम्ही? इंजिनिअरिंग मेकॅनिक्स किंवा अप्लाइड मेकॅनिक्स? I think at first year level you have studied that mechanics subject. So can anyone tell me what is the meaning of mechanics or what is the definition of mechanics? Can anyone tell me?
The branch of applied mathematics.
Continue. Basavaraj, Basveshwar. What is mean by mechanics? What you understood, what you studied in that subject called as a mechanics? What you studied in that subject mechanics? Can anyone tell me?
Branch, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
The branch of applied mathematics deals with motion and force product.
Deals with the branch of applied. What you told? The branch of?
The branch of applied mathematics deals with motion and force producing motion.
Motion and force producing motion. Okay. Any another definition? So if you go through that subject mechanics, you will able to understand that, or you will be knowing that in complete subject mechanics, you were studying related to the forces which were acting on the any of the object, whatever that object may be at rest condition or that object may be at in motion. So whatever mechanics is there, that mechanics is nothing but the branch of science which deals with study of forces. Branch of science which deals with study of forces acting on any body, which may be at rest condition or which may be in motion condition. And we are not studying only forces acting on a body. Along with that forces acting on body, we were studying what is the effect of that forces on that body. That means because of that action of forces, whether that body is in motion or that body will resist its motion, or are there any another changes in that body. So that is nothing but the mechanics. So if you combine these two words, that is nothing but fluid as well as mechanics. If you combine these two words, that is nothing but fluid as well as mechanics, then whatever our 50% of title of our subject is there, that is called as a fluid mechanics. So after combination of both the name, that is fluid as well as mechanics, so that will be called as a fluid mechanics. So what will be the meaning of fluid mechanics? What will be the fluid of what will be the meaning of fluid mechanics? So here in the definition of mechanics only, we are going to replace body. In the definition of mechanics, if we are going to replace the body by fluid, then that will be called as a fluid mechanics. So fluid mechanics, that will be the branch of engineering science which will be dealing with study of forces acting on a fluid. Here we are not going to consider any in general body. Instead of in general body, we are going to consider the study of forces which are acting on a fluid. That fluid may be at steady condition or that fluid may be in motion condition. And along with that action of forces acting on a fluid, we are going to consider the effect of that forces acting on a fluid. So that combinedly, that branch will be called as a fluid mechanics. So fluid mechanics is nothing but branch of engineering science which deals with study of forces acting on a fluid and its effect on the fluid. So that will be called as a fluid mechanics. So in mechanics, you might have studied two sections. First section was called as a static, and second one was the dynamic. So whatever static section was there, or whatever dynamic section was there in the mechanics subject, that was related to, or that was defined based on the condition of body, which was at rest condition or which was at in motion condition. So similarly, in fluid mechanics, there will be three sections. First one will be called as a fluid static, second one will be called as a fluid dynamic, and third one will be called as a fluid kinematic. So whatever these three sections will be there, fluid static, fluid dynamic, and fluid kinematic, all those three sections will be again based on, or will be again depending upon the condition of fluid. So whether that fluid is in steady condition, whether that fluid is in motion condition. Based on that, there will be three sections called as a fluid static, fluid dynamic, and fluid kinematics. So that was related to fluid mechanics. So in the old syllabus of second year, up till now there was only a subject called as a fluid mechanics, and at third year level there was separate subject called as a fluid machinery and fluid power. So at your diploma level, you might have studied the industrial hydraulic power, IHP. So at engineering level, there was fluid machinery and fluid power. But in the new syllabus, in the syllabus of BTech, they have combined both the syllabus. That means fluid mechanics and fluid machinery, and they have developed one new section called as a fluid mechanics and fluid machine. So here in the another section, that is fluid machine. So as we are knowing the definition of fluid, so another word is nothing but machine. What is mean by machine? Can anyone tell me what is mean by machine? So first of all, we'll understand the meaning. Yeah.
Definition of machine is it is a human-made device which control movement of performance of action.
Performance of action. Okay. Anything else?
Anything which can reduce the human effort.
Okay. Anything which reduces the effort. Okay. Anything else? So what is the main purpose of machine? Reduce the human effort.
Reduce the human effort.
Okay. How that machine is reducing human effort? What is the basic principle on which that machine works? So there are different definitions of machine, but from our subject point of view here, so machine is nothing but one mechanical device which can convert one form of energy into another form of energy. So mechanical device means that machine is consisting of number of linkages. That machine is consisting of number of linkages which are having number of degrees of freedom, and those linkages are connected with each other in such a way that that machine can perform the work. That means that machine can convert one form of energy into another form of energy to reduce the human effort. So simply we can say that machine is nothing but mechanical device which can convert one form of energy into another form of energy. So any mechanical device which can convert one form of energy into another form of energy is called as a machine. So here the another name is nothing but fluid machine, or that is also called as a hydraulic machine. So machine which deals with fluid, machine which deals with fluid is called as a fluid machine. So fluid machine or hydraulic machine is nothing but machine which can deals with fluid, or in another word which we can say that the device which can convert hydraulic energy into mechanical energy. The device which can convert hydraulic energy into mechanical energy, or mechanical energy into hydraulic energy. That device will be called as a fluid machine or hydraulic machine. Now here, whatever first word is there, that is nothing but conversion of hydraulic energy into mechanical energy. The best example is nothing but turbine. So in case of turbine, what that turbine is doing, so whenever we are exerting forces, or whenever you are exerting fluid forces on the blades of turbine, that turbine get rotates, and because of rotation of that turbine, that hydraulic energy or fluid energy is getting converted into mechanical energy. So that is one type of fluid machine or hydraulic machine. Or the device which can convert mechanical energy into hydraulic energy. So pump is the best example for this. So
Power steering.
power steering also one of the example of fluid machine. So here we are converting mechanical energy into hydraulic energy. So this is overview related to our subject called as a fluid mechanics and fluid machine. Now we'll switch to syllabus related to this fluid mechanics and fluid machine. So whatever university, Solapur University, Solapur is there. So they have given this subject for second year, second semester. So structure and syllabus of the subject. So here for this subject, fluid mechanics and fluid machine, university has allocated 3 hours per week as a theory lecture and 2 hours per week as a practical. And if you see the examination scheme for this subject, so the total weightage in the curriculum of university for this subject is nothing but 125 marks. Out of that, 70 marks are allocated for your end semester exam. Then 30 marks will be allocated for your in semester exam. So based on your performance in the ISC, that 30 marks will be given, and whatever 25 marks are there, those 25 marks will be allocated based on your internal continuous assessment. That is nothing but term work part. So the total weightage for this subject is nothing but 125 marks. And here whatever this subject will be there, this subject will be categorized into two sections, that is nothing but section 1 and section 2. So out of that, whatever section 1 will be there, that section 1 will be purely based on fluid mechanics, and whatever section 2 will be there, so out of that section 2, 3 topics will be related to the fluid machines and 1 topic will be related to the fluid mechanics. So as I told you that there are 2 sections. Each section is consisting of 4 chapters. That means total chapter in the subject fluid mechanics and fluid machine will be 8 chapters. So out of that, in the first section, whatever 4 chapters are there, those are completely related with the fluid mechanics. Whatever second section is there, in that second section, whatever first chapter, that is chapter number 5 will be there, that will be again related with the fluid mechanics, and whatever remaining last 3 chapters will be there, that will be related with the fluid machines. So we will see the syllabus one by one. So first section, so as I have told you that fluid mechanics is having 3 sections, 3 parts, that is nothing but fluid static, fluid dynamics and fluid kinematics. So our first chapter is related to the fluid static. So whatever our first chapter is there, fluid static, that fluid static chapter, university has allocated 5 hours to complete this chapter. That means in the weightage of 40 hours, that means university is expecting that whatever syllabus of all the subjects are there, that means each and every subject will have the weightage of 40 hours for 83. So here, out of that 40 hours, 5 hours will be allocated for this chapter, fluid static. So in this chapter, we are going to study what you mean by center of pressure. Then we are going to study the total pressure and center of pressure acting on immersed surfaces. So that immersed surfaces may be horizontal surface, vertical surface, or inclined surface. Okay, one more thing. Have you taken the new notebook for the subject fluid mechanics and fluid machines? Hello? Are you having new notebooks for this subject? Should I give the dictation part for this syllabus, or should I give the PPT? I'm going to share the PPT afterwards. Don't worry about PPT. But what about dictation part? Are you going to write along with me the syllabus part?
Send PDF, sir.
Huh?
Send the PDF, sir. I will
Okay.
write now.
Okay, I will send the PDF. But all of you, you have to make one new 200 pages notebook for the fluid mechanics and fluid machine, because whatever our subject is there, that subject is theoretical as well as derivational as well as problematic subject is there. So theory concepts are there, as well as derivation part is also there, as well as numerical parts are also there. So only by seeing at the PPT you will not get anything. So along with PPT, you have to write something in your notebook. That means whatever derivation part will be there, that you have to write in your notebook. Then whatever problems which we are going to solve, that also you have to write in your notebook. So prepare one separate notebook for this subject, fluid mechanics and fluid machine. Are you getting? So for
Yes, sir.
next lecture onwards, you should have a new notebook for this subject. So today we'll discuss related to the syllabus. I will send this PPT. So after preparing new notebook, you can write down these points related to syllabus in your notebook. So in the first chapter, we are going to study what is meant by center of pressure. Then we are going to have the derivation. There will be three derivation. That is nothing but total pressure and center of pressure acting on horizontal body, vertical body, and inclined body. And based on this horizontal, vertical, and inclined body, we have to solve the problems also. Then next part is nothing but the principle of buoyancy. Then another principle is there, that is called as the Archimedes principle. Then we are going to see what are the condition of equilibrium. What are the condition of equilibrium for submerged and floating body? For submerged and floating body. Then we are going to discuss related to the stability, what is meant by metacenter and what is meant by metacentric height. So those will be the content in our chapter number 1 called as a fluid static. So here in bracket they have mentioned that no numerical treatment to the metacentric height. No numerical treatment to the metacentric height. That means here only for metacentric height there will not be any numerical treatment. But if you see whatever horizontal surface, vertical surface, and inclined surface immersed in a fluid will be there. So related to these three surfaces, we are having the derivation part as well as numerical part also. Then based on buoyancy also, we are having the numericals. So whatever this chapter number 1 will be there, that will be theoretical as well as derivational as well as numerical type of chapter will be there. So this is nothing but first chapter called as a fluid static. Then whatever second chapter will be there, that is nothing but another branch of fluid mechanics called as a fluid kinematics. So for this chapter, fluid kinematics, again university has allocated number of lectures is nothing but 5. So in this chapter fluid kinematics, we are going to study Lagrangian and Eulerian method of description of fluid flow. So there are two types of, or there are two methods by which we can describe any type of fluid flow. So those are nothing but Lagrangian method and Eulerian method. Then we are going to see what are the different types of fluid flow with the help of example. So you might have you might be knowing that steady flow, unsteady flow, uniform flow, non-uniform flow. Then so there are various types of fluid flow. So with the help of example, we are going to see those all the types of fluid flow. That is nothing but 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional fluid flow. Then after that, we are going to study the concept of streamline, path line, and streak line. Then what is meant by velocity component. Then what is meant by local and convective acceleration. Local and convective acceleration. Then we are going to see what is meant by velocity potential function, what is meant by equipotential line. Then at the end, we are going to see Laplace equation, which is governing the potential flow. Then what is meant by stream function and continuity equation in Cartesian coordinate. So these are the points which we are going to study in the chapter number 2, that is nothing but fluid kinematics. Then whatever chapter number 3 will be there. So chapter number 3 is nothing but fluid dynamics. So for this chapter also, university has allocated number of hours is nothing but 5 hours. So in this chapter number 3, that is nothing but fluid dynamics. So before that, whatever chapter number 2 will be there, that chapter number 2 is also consisting of theoretical part. Derivation will be there. So related to the equipotential line, then whatever velocity potential function, then Laplace equation as well as continuity equation. Those are nothing but the various derivation. And here problems will be also there, or numericals will be also there. So whatever chapter number 2 is there, that chapter number 2 is also consisting of theoretical part, derivational part as well as numerical part also. Then whatever chapter number 3 is there, that is called as a fluid dynamics. So chapter number 3 is also consisting of theoretical part, derivational part as well as numerical part also, or problems will also be there in the chapter number 3. So the content of chapter number 3 is nothing but Euler's equation along the streamline, what is meant by Bernoulli's equation, then application of Bernoulli's theorem. So various applications of Bernoulli's theorem that you are knowing, those are nothing but venturimeter, orifice meter and pitot tube. Those are the application of Bernoulli's theorem. Then along with that, we are going to study flow through sharp edge small circular orifice. Then we are going to determine hydraulic coefficient of an orifice. So in the bracket, they have mentioned that no numerical treatment to orifice meter and pitot tube. So here there will be the numericals based on venturimeter. So what will be the discharge which will be passing through the venturimeter, or designing of venturimeter, such type of numericals will be there. Then related to the hydraulic coefficient of orifice as well as sharp edge small circular orifice, there will be also numericals as well as derivation part. There will not be numericals based on orifice meter as well as pitot tube. Only for these 2 points, orifice meter and pitot tube, there will not be any type of numerical, but derivation part will be there. Then whatever chapter number 4 will be there, chapter number 4 will be flow through pipe. So for this chapter also, number of lectures allocated are nothing but 5 lectures. So in this chapter, we are going to study what is meant by major losses and minor losses. So that major and minor energy losses which we are going to study. After that, we are going to study Darcy-Weisbach equation. Then we are going to study loss of head in a pipe connection and fitting. Then what is meant by equivalent pipe, that also we are going to study. Then hydraulic gradient line, that is called as HGL, and total energy line, that is called as the TEL, that also we are going to study. Then SIPON, one concept is there, that is called as a SIPON, that also we have to study under this chapter, flow through pipes. So in the bracket, they have mentioned that no numerical treatment on HGL, TEL and SIPON. That means whatever minor as well as major energy losses are there. So based on major and minor energy losses, we have to we are having the numericals, as well as based on Darcy-Weisbach equation, we are having the numericals. But whatever HGL, TEL and SIPON pipe will be there, related to that, numerical part will not be there, but derivational part will be there. Then flow through pipe in series and parallel. Then efficiency of power transmission, or maximum transmission of fluid power through given pipe. So that is also derivational part. So this is nothing but your chapter number 4. So chapter number 4 will also consist of theoretical part, derivational part as well as numerical part. So here our section number 1 get completed. Now whatever section number 2 will be there. So in that section number 2, whatever chapter number 5 will be there. So the name of that chapter is nothing but dimensional analysis, similitude and forces on a immersed bodies. Dimensional analysis, similitude and forces on a immersed bodies. So in the old syllabus, there were separate chapter. So at that time, separate chapter number 5 was related to dimensional analysis and similitude. And whatever drag and lift forces are there, that is also called as the forces on immersed body, that was separate chapter. But in the new syllabus, they have combined both the chapter and they have formed only one chapter called as the dimensional analysis, similitude and forces on a immersed bodies. So here number of lectures allocated for this chapter is nothing but again 5 lectures. So here we have to study the dimensions of commonly encountered fluid properties. So there are various fluid properties which we are knowing, that is nothing but mass density, weight density, specific volume. So for such various fluid properties, we have to find out the dimension in terms of M, L, and T. Then here dimensional analysis. So there will be two methods. First one will be called as the Rayleigh's theorem, and second one will be called as the Buckingham Pi theorem. So depending upon that Rayleigh's theorem and Buckingham Pi theorem, we have to find out the correlationship between dependent variable and independent variable. Then similitude, modeling, drag and lift forces acting on immersed bodies, and drag and lift forces acting on stationary bodies. So this will be the syllabus part for chapter number 5. So here also for this chapter number 5, theoretical part, derivational part, as well as numerical part will be there. So this chapter number 5 is also related with the fluid mechanics itself. But from chapter number 6 onwards, whatever chapters are there, chapter number 6, 7, and 8. So those 3 chapters will be related to the fluid machines, that is also called as the hydraulic machines. So chapter number 6 is related to the impulse water turbine. Chapter number 6 is related to the impulse water turbine. So number of hours allocated for this chapter is nothing but 5 hours. So in this chapter number 6, we are going to study Euler's equation for rotodynamic machine. Then we are going to study classification of water turbine. Then one of the type of turbine called as a Pelton wheel turbine. So for that Pelton wheel turbine, we are going to study work done and efficiencies of Pelton wheel turbine. That is nothing but design parameter of Pelton wheel turbine. Work done and efficiencies of Pelton wheel turbine. Then working properties of Pelton wheel and design of Pelton wheel turbine running. And last one will be the design of Pelton wheel turbine runner. And last one will be the governing of Pelton turbine. So here also chapter number 6 also will consist of theoretical part, derivational part, as well as numerical part. So this is the chapter number 6. Then whatever chapter number 7 will be there. So chapter number 7 will be reaction water turbine. So under this chapter number 7, we are going to study related to the Francis turbine and Kaplan turbine. And chapter number 6, in the chapter number 6, we are going to study related to the Pelton wheel turbine. So under the category of reaction water turbine, that Francis and Kaplan turbine comes. So here chapter number 6, the number of hours allocated are nothing but 5 hours again. So the points which we are going to cover under this chapter number 7 is nothing but construction and working of Francis turbine, then construction and working of Kaplan turbine, then derivation part, that is nothing but work done and efficiencies of Francis turbine as well as Kaplan turbine, then working properties of Francis as well as Kaplan turbine, and draft tube. So related to draft tube only, theoretical treatment will be there. That means no numerical as well as no derivational part will be there for draft tube. But for Francis as well as Kaplan turbine, there will be the numerical part as well as derivational part. Then after draft tube, we have to study what are the different types of draft tube as well as what is the functioning of draft tube and how to govern the reaction turbine. So this is nothing but our chapter number 7, that is called as a reaction water turbine. Then last chapter related to our syllabus, that is nothing but centrifugal pump. So the number of hours allocated for this chapter also, those are nothing but 5 hours. So related to centrifugal pump, we have to study what is the working principle of centrifugal pump, then construction parameter of that centrifugal pump, various types of centrifugal pump, then various heads which are acting on the centrifugal pump, then what is meant by multi-staging pumps, Then related to that centrifugal pumps design parameter, we have to study the velocity triangles for that centrifugal pump also. Then what is meant by minimum starting speed, maximum suction height, then net positive suction head, that is also called as a NPSH, that we have to study under this chapter, centrifugal pump. Along with that, we have to study the methods of priming, calculation of efficiencies, discharge, blade angle, head, power required, impeller dimension, specific speed pump, and performance characteristic of pump. So here, whatever this calculation of efficiency, discharge, blade angle, heads, power required, impeller dimension, specific speed of pump. So whatever problems will be there in the chapter number 8, in that chapter, in that problem, we have to find out the efficiency, discharge, blade angle, heads, power required, and impeller dimension. And last point is nothing but specific speed of pump. And after that, we have to study the various characteristic curve related to the centrifugal pump. That is called as a performance characteristic curves for the centrifugal pump. So this is the syllabus related to our entire subject, fluid mechanics and fluid machines. So at your diploma level, I think the part which are covered at the diploma level, so from chapter number 1, I think metacenter or metacentric height, that part might be covered. Chapter number 2, fluid kinematics, whether that local acceleration, convective acceleration part was there. Only from chapter number 2, various types of fluid flow with example, that might get covered at your diploma level. Maximum portion of chapter number 3 is covered at the diploma level. That means you might be knowing the what is the venturimeter, orifice meter, pitot tube. What is the working principle of those? Then what are the derivation parts? That means how to find out the discharge as well as velocity. So finding out the discharge at venturimeter and orifice meter, and velocity for the pitot tube. So that might get covered at the diploma level. Then I think that flow through pipe, that chapter was also there at diploma level, that is various major and minor losses and problem based on the Darcy-Weisbach equation. Only that part was there. I think series and parallel pipe was also there, and this derivation, that is efficiency of power transmission and maximum transmission of fluid through given pipe, that part was there. But whatever rest of all the parts will be there, that will be new for you. So this is syllabus of the subject fluid mechanics and fluid machine. Now whatever textbook that you have to refer, so the name of textbooks also university has provided. So university has given our preference for this 3 textbook. First one is nothing but hydraulics and fluid mechanics including hydraulic machines. The author name is Dr. P.N. Modi and Dr. S.M. Seth. So publication name is nothing but Standard Book House Publication. Then second book is nothing but, name of book is nothing but Fluid Mechanics and Hydraulic Machine. Fluid Mechanics and Hydraulic Machine. The author name is Dr. R.K. Bansal and publication name is nothing but Lakshmi Publication Private Limited, New Delhi. Then third book is foreign author book, that is nothing but Fluid Mechanics. Author name is Streeter, Valley and Bedford, and publication name is nothing but McGraw-Hill Publication. So those are the textbook where you can find out the points which are given in the syllabus. And reference book, so university has suggested reference book. First one is nothing but, so whatever first reference book is there, that is nothing but, name of reference book is nothing but Fluid Mechanics. So author name is Fight and publication name is nothing but McGraw-Hill Publication. Then second reference book is nothing but Mechanics of Fluid. Author name is Irving Sims and publication name is nothing but McGraw-Hill Publication. Third one is nothing but Advanced Fluid Engineering. Author name is Muralidhar and publication name is NERSA publication. So those are nothing but the reference book. So that was related to the theory syllabus. Now, as we are having the practicals also, so the weightage of practical will be of 25 marks. That is nothing but internal continuous assessment or term of parts. So whatever practicals will be there. So practicals will be divided into two sections. First one will be the compulsory part and second one will be the optional part. So in the compulsory part, we have to study two basic assignment or theoretical practical. So out of that, first theoretical practical is nothing but we have to study numerical and theoretical assignment based on basics of fluid mechanics. So related to basics of fluid mechanics or properties of fluid and related law, we have to study the first theoretical practical. So in that theoretical practical, we are going to cover the definitions of various fluid properties as well as various laws which are related with the fluid and some of the problems we need to solve based on or by using that fluid property or by using those laws. So that is nothing but first compulsory practical. Then second compulsory practical is nothing but numericals based on piezometer, simple and inverted U-tube manometer. So you might be knowing the manometer. I think there was separate chapter related to the manometer at your diploma level. So related to manometer, we are having one more assignment or one more practical. So that is also coming under the compulsory category. So we have to study what is by piezometer, then what are the different types of simple manometer and inverted manometer or differential manometer. And we have to solve the numericals related to those piezometer, simple and differential U-tube manometer also. So these are the first two compulsory practical. Those are the theoretical practical. Now whatever second part is there, that is second part is nothing but the performance type of practical. So they have given the list of practicals. So out of those list of practical, any 7 practical, we have to do the performance. So whatever those 7 practicals are there, out of that first one is nothing but determination of metacentric height for a ship. Then second one is nothing but determination of coefficient of friction for pipe. Third one is nothing but verification of Bernoulli's theorem. Then whatever fourth practical will be there, that will be calibration of venturimeter or orifice meter. Then fifth practical will be there, that will be determination of hydraulic coefficient of an orifice. Then sixth one will be related to the trial on Pelton wheel turbine. Seventh one will be related to the trial on Francis or Kaplan turbine. Eighth one will be related to the trial on centrifugal pump. And ninth one will be 2 problems using CFD software. So this is the list of experiment. These are the performance type of experiment. So out of those 9 performance type of experiment, we have to perform any 7 practicals. So for practicals, 7 plus 2, that means first 2 are compulsory. Those are the theoretical practical. And after in performance category 7, that means 7 plus 2, 9 practicals we have to do in the ICA part. So this was related to the syllabus of practical. What is the time now? Okay, 1:57. That means time is almost over. So Rohit Tangavde. So this was our first lecture related to the introduction of FMFM, that is nothing but fluid mechanics and fluid machine. So from next lecture onwards, we are going to start our actual syllabus. That means we are going to start our chapter number 1, that is nothing but the fluid static. Today at 3:30 to 4:30, we are having one practical related to the fluid mechanics, related to FMFM. So in that practical, we are going to start our first practical. That is whatever our first compulsory practical is there, that is nothing but numerical and theoretical assignment based on fluid mechanics or basics of fluid mechanics, that we are going to start at our practical, that is nothing but at 3:30 to 4:30. So now I request you all to write the roll number in the chat box. So while writing the roll number, only write as a B your roll number. Suppose your roll number is 12. So B 12, or if your roll number is 40, B 40. So don't give any space in between B and that numerical part. So that will be easy for me while noting that attendance. So write down the attendance. I will collect that attendance. Don't give the space in between that B and that number. So thank you for attending the lecture.